Why Dylan and Shen Yue will always be drama's ultimate couple. There are love stories written into scripts. There are love stories captured on film. And then there are love stories that transcend the frame, that leap out of fiction and embed themselves into the hearts of millions. For an entire generation of drama fans, one pairing redefined what romance meant on screen. One pairing made even the smallest glance feel like destiny. One pairing turned a television show into a cultural movement. That pairing is Dylan Wang and Shen Yue. Hold on tight, K-drama Haven family, because this journey is only just beginning. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now because, trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The revelations, the emotions, the moments that will change everything. And no matter how many years pass, no matter how many new faces rise, one truth remains unshakable. Dylan and Shen Yue will always be drama's ultimate couple. The unexpected beginning. When casting was first announced, the industry was doubtful. Dylan Wang was a newcomer, barely known beyond modeling circles. His striking looks undeniable, but his experience nearly non-existent. Shen Yue, on the other hand, had charmed audiences in earlier roles, but was still considered a rising actress with much to prove. Few expected their union to change history. But sometimes destiny disguises itself as risk. Sometimes the most unlikely combinations are the ones that shift the entire landscape. From the moment cameras rolled, something extraordinary happened. Their very first table read stunned even veteran crew members. When Dylan looked at Shen Yue, it wasn't the practiced stare of an actor following a script. It was electric. When Shen Yue responded, her laughter, her softness, her fire, it all felt real. By the time the drama aired, the world was ready to be swept away. A chemistry that could not be faked. On screen, Dylan and Shen Yue were not acting. At least, that's what it felt like. Every bicker carried heat. Every accidental brush of hands lingered longer than it should have. Every argument cut deeper than dialogue alone could achieve. And every reconciliation, every teardrop, every hug, every kiss, felt like a personal victory for the millions watching. Fans began to say, they are not playing characters. They are living them. And in that belief lay the secret of their power. What Dylan and Shen Yue shared was not the ordinary chemistry of two professionals. It was the rare alchemy of two souls whose energies intertwined so naturally that even silence between them was captivating. The earthquake of fandom. The drama didn't just top ratings. It became a phenomenon. In China, streets emptied during primetime episodes. In Korea, headlines compared them to classic K-drama couples. In Southeast Asia, fans organized watch parties, gathering in cafes and cinemas to experience the story together. And in the West, something even more surprising happened. Viewers who had never before touched an Asian drama suddenly found themselves addicted, binge-watching through sleepless nights. Subtitles became invisible. Love became universal. Fashion followed quickly. Dylan's bold, rebellious style became a trend among young men. Shen Yue's fresh-faced innocence, her sweaters, her hairstyles, her simple charm, became aspirational for women across Asia. Merchandise sold out. Soundtracks charted. Social media erupted. Entire communities were born, devoted not just to the drama but to Dylan and Shen Yue themselves. It wasn't just television anymore. It was culture. Off-screen whispers. What fueled the frenzy even further was what happened when the cameras stopped. Behind-the-scenes clips showed Dylan leaning in to shield Shen Yue from the sun. Shen Yue laughing at Dylan's awkward improvisations. The way they teased each other, the way they instinctively gravitated closer in group settings. None of it looked rehearsed. Fans dissected every frame. Was that smile part of the script or something real? Was that hand squeeze written or spontaneous? The more they saw, the more convinced they became. Dylan and Shen Yue were not just characters. They were something more. And whether or not the truth was ever revealed, the possibility was enough to send fandom into overdrive. The separation. Like all great dramas, their story had a bittersweet turn. After their iconic project, Dylan and Shen Yue moved on to other roles, new dramas, new partners on screen. But something had changed. No matter who they acted beside, no matter how compelling the story, audiences kept comparing. It's good, they would say, but it's not Dylan and Shen Yue. Their standard had become the measure. Their chemistry had become the benchmark. And even as time passed, the longing did not fade. Fans continued to campaign, to petition, to demand a reunion, because in their hearts, the story felt unfinished. The legacy of influence. Influence can be measured in numbers, in ratings, in streams, in trending hashtags. And Dylan and Shen Yue had all of it. But their true influence was deeper. They reignited belief in love stories. They bridged cultures, bringing Chinese drama into living rooms that had never watched one before. They reminded audiences that acting at its best feels like truth. And most of all, they gave millions a memory, a shared experience of laughter, tears, and joy that still binds fans together years later. Even now, fan clubs remain active across the world. Edits of their most iconic moments resurface on TikTok, YouTube, and Weibo, amassing millions of views. Interviews with either actor inevitably circle back to that drama, that pairing, that magic. Why they will always be the ultimate couple. In the end, it is not just about a drama. It is not just about a pairing. It is about impact. It is about memory. It is about legacy. Dylan Wang and Shen Yue did not simply entertain. They etched themselves into the DNA of Asian drama history. They became the couple that even new fans, discovering the series years later, still describe as unmatched. The fan rebellion. The drama may have ended years ago. The lights may have dimmed, the sets dismantled, the script stored away. But for the fans of Dylan Wang and Shen Yue, the story was never over. Because once a love story like that takes hold of your heart, you do not let it go. And so began what the industry now calls the fan rebellion, a global movement of passion, persistence, and unshakable belief that Dylan and Shen Yue belong together, on screen and perhaps beyond. The birth of a movement. It started small. A handful of comments under official drama clips. Please reunite them. We need another season. Their story feels unfinished. But like all movements, it grew. Within weeks, petitions began circulating online. The first gained over 100,000 signatures in less than a month. By the end of the year, there were more than 10 separate petitions, each demanding the same thing: Dylan and Shen Yue must return as a couple. Soon, fan clubs across Asia began to coordinate. Korean fans linked arms with Thai fans. Filipino fan bases joined forces with Chinese and Japanese supporters. International audiences, from the United States to Europe to South America, added their voices. What began as whispers became a chorus. The social media storm. On Twitter, hashtags exploded. Hashtag Reunite Dylan and Shen Yue trended globally multiple times a year, often without any new content to spark it. Fans simply refused to let the conversation die. On Instagram, edits of their most iconic moments were shared daily, with captions like, "The chemistry that defined a generation." On TikTok, younger fans who hadn't even watched the drama during its original run discovered their story and carried the rebellion forward. Clips went viral again and again, amassing millions of views. One fan wrote in all caps, "No couple will ever compare. Until they return, we wait." It wasn't noise. It was persistence. Fan festivals. But the rebellion did not stay online. It spilled into the real world. In Manila, fans organized a Dylan and Shen Yue Day, renting out a mall atrium to screen their favorite episodes together. Hundreds attended, dressed as their characters, holding banners, crying, laughing, reliving the magic. In Bangkok, a fan-made art exhibition showcased paintings, sketches, and photography inspired by their love story. The event went viral, attracting international coverage. In Seoul, fans rented LED billboards across the city, flashing the message, "Bring Dylan and Shen Yue back." Passers-by stopped to take photos. Journalists wrote articles. Producers took notice. Even in Los Angeles and London, overseas fans gathered in cafes, sharing stories of how this couple had changed their lives. It wasn't just fandom anymore. It was culture. The producer's dilemma. Inside the industry, executives began to feel the pressure. For years, whispers spread about potential reunions. Scripts were reportedly written with Dylan and Shen Yue in mind. Streaming platforms floated record-breaking budgets, convinced that bringing them back together could shatter viewing numbers across continents. But with great opportunity came hesitation. Could lightning strike twice? Would reuniting them risk tarnishing the legacy of their first story? Still, the pressure grew. As one producer admitted off the record, "We have never seen demand like this. Fans are not asking. They are demanding. And the industry cannot ignore it forever." The emotional impact. For the fans, this rebellion was not just about entertainment. It was about emotion. There were stories of fans who battled depression but found comfort in Dylan and Shen Yue's drama. Of long-distance couples who rewatched their love story to keep hope alive. Of friendships formed across borders, bonded by their shared love for this pairing. One fan wrote in a viral post, "They don't just remind me of love. They remind me of hope." Another said, "Even if they never reunite, Dylan and Shen Yue have already changed my life. But I'll never stop wishing." The rebellion was not fueled by entitlement. It was fueled by gratitude, by love, and by the belief that something so beautiful deserved another chapter. A legacy that refuses to fade. Years after their first drama ended, Dylan and Shen Yue remain a cultural touchstone. Every time either actor is cast in a new project, comparisons arise. Every award show appearance reignites the call. Every interview where they mention each other, even in passing, trends instantly. The rebellion has made one thing clear. This couple is not just a memory. They are a movement. They are the benchmark. They are the dream. They are, and always will be, drama's ultimate couple. And until the day they reunite, if that day ever comes, fans will continue to rebel, to fight, and to believe. Because when love feels that real, you do not let it go.